Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society YouTube channel. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and it is Monday. I have been waiting for today because the weekend has been very, very boring. I didn't go live over the weekend because it was so boring. The crypto market was very boring over the weekend. And today I want to update you with what's going on. Nothing much is going on, but there is some things that we need to look at, we need to address, and I do still expect this big move is going to come. We've been looking at those Bollinger Bands squeezing together. And when we see that, we do tend to see a big move come shortly after. So before jumping into the charts, please make sure you smash a like on this video. It really helps the channel out. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. So make sure you smash that like button. And let's get straight on into the chart. So first chart that I want to look at is the daily chart. So as we know, we have broken towards the upside of this descending triangle. Now, that's bullish, yes. But we are getting no volume in. Okay, I've spoken about this. There's no volume coming in. We need this volume to come in. And if this volume does not kick in, then the likelihood of it is that this breakout towards the upside right here is going to most likely be a fake out. So as we can see right here, we've come back and retested that previous resistance and support, and we are, as of right now, seeing a small bounce off of that level. But again, looking at that volume is still decreasing even after the break towards the upside. So what we need to see a big spike in volume for us to have any chance of seeing the price pushing towards the upside. So until we can see Bitcoin bring in that volume, until we can see that volume within Bitcoin, I just expect this to be a fake out, and I do think we are eventually going to roll over, come back down to the support, and potentially breaking that support like we did back in 2018. Obviously, if we get volume, I don't expect that to happen. If the volume comes in, then we can come up to these resistance levels and hopefully break above those resistance levels, and then we can start seeing the price push, maybe even to 25,000. But we need volume to come into the market before we can see that happen. Without volume, the likelihood of it is it's going to be a fake out. We're going to roll over and probably break down below support and have that next leg towards the downside. So right now, all we need is volume. If we don't get that, I'm sorry to say it, but I think we are going to have another big leg towards the downside. Bringing up those Bollinger Bands as well. As you can see, the Bollinger Bands, the top Bollinger Band was coming in with perfect resistance from this big range on the daily chart. And it was also, and the lower Bollinger Band is also coming in with major support as well on this daily chart. And we are actually seeing the Bollinger Bands constrict even more, so compressed together even more than they already are, as you can see right here. So for me, we're just getting ever so close to that big move that we are anticipating. Whenever we've seen the Bollinger Bands squeeze and compress together like this, we do tend to see big moves. If we come all the way back here, as we can see right here, so back in June, end of May, start of June, we saw the Bollinger Bands compress, and then we got a big leg towards the downside. Now, when they compress, it doesn't mean that we're going to move towards the downside. It just means that a big move is coming. So it can be either towards the upside or towards the downside. Now, the question is, where are we going to move to with this big move that is going to come very soon? As of right now, we are very unsure. For me, the likelihood of it is that it's going to be more towards the downside because, as I said, there is no volume coming into Bitcoin right now. There is, if we can't get this volume in, it's going to be more bearish than bullish. So for me right now, it's likely that we are going to break towards the downside, and especially with the Fed having their meeting in just over a week, and the likelihood of it is that we are going to get a 75 basis point rate hike, which would be bad for the market. Until we start seeing those 50 or 25 basis point rate hikes, the market is just not going to push towards the upside. We are most likely going to continue to push towards the downside. So that's what I am expecting. But again, if we can get the volume coming in, then yes, we could push towards the upside. But without the volume, there's very low chance that we are going to push towards the upside. Taking a look at that 4 hour. Now, I've been looking at this 4 hour chart for a very long time because, as you can see, we have just been trading within this range, and we have been trading this range as well. We've been shorting the resistance up here. We shorted this as well. I have been looking for another short. It hasn't happened yet, but if we do get into this shorting area here, I will be opening up a short. Now, I have said that you could be longing the value area low, so you could be going long from these levels here. For me, I'm staying away from the longs. I'm trying to take as much risk out of my trades as possible, and for me, just taking out those longs in general is the best thing to do for me, because I still think that we could go lower if that volume doesn't kick in. So I am expecting a break of this range towards the downside if we cannot get that volume in. And because the volume isn't coming in right now, I am staying away from those long positions, because there's a higher chance that we will break towards the downside rather than the upside as of right now. Until we get the volume in, okay, it's looking more likely that we're going to break towards the downside. If we can get the volume coming into the markets, then of course I will switch and I will flip more bullish than bearish. But right now I am just more bearish. So as I said, you could have been longing these value area lows. Right here would have been a really, really good entry. As you can see, it would have been in profit. This would have been a really good entry as well. At the daily level as well, which has been major support. So you could have been longing these and taking profit of value at the value area high. But as I said, I'm staying away from those longs just to be on the safe side, and I'm looking for those shorts, which have played out really, really nice. Yeah, if you did long this, then you would be in profit right now. Would be in a nice bit of profit. But for me, I am just staying away from those longs because the volume just is not there for me to be bullish. Until we get that volume, then I'm going to continue to stay bearish. And as we can see here, the Bollinger Bands are compressing. So a big move is coming. Right now, for me, the move is most likely going to be towards the downside unless we can get that volume coming in. Now, the DXY, we were looking at this as well. And the DXY, I did show you that it was actually forming a bull flag. That bull flag on the 4 hour, it did actually turn out to be a fake out. However, I still think this bull flag is in play. So taking a look at the bull flag on the 4 hour, as we can see, we broke towards the upside, came into resistance here, and I do, well, it was a fake out, but I do still think that this bull flag is still in play, and I think it's in play on the daily charts. As we can see, we're still respecting this bull flag very, very well on the daily chart, testing the support here over the course of the weekend, and testing the support over the course of the week. Sorry, not the weekend, over the course of today. We came down and actually tested that support, bounced off it, and we are seeing a push towards the upside. And over the course of the weekend, over the course of today, not the weekend, today, we did actually come down and test the major support level on the DXY as well. So what we can see is we have this support level coming in here. We've taken it from the first pivot point here to the second pivot point here, as you can see right there. And we have actually tested it perfectly to the dollar right there. We tested it this morning to the dollar, and we are getting a really nice bounce off of that. I say really nice bounce, a bad bounce for crypto, but a good bounce for the strength of the dollar. So it's looking likely, if we do get this bounce today, it's looking likely for me that we could come back up, test this resistance again, this blue resistance level, which is 4 hour resistance. As you can see right there, tested it multiple times, and it has led to that rejection here. But I do think if we can hold this support, then we will come up, test this resistance. If we can break this resistance, then I do think another higher high is going to be in play. So I do think the DXY could come up and my Wi-Fi just cut out there for a minute, but we are back. So yeah, if we do break that resistance and we do hold the support on the DXY, then I do think that we could come back up to the $116.4 dollar level on that DXY, which of course is going to be very bad for the crypto markets, we would most likely see Bitcoin see another leg towards the downside if this were to happen. And then from there, we could come back down and test this support level that we are finding support on right now, either breaking that towards the downside, which would be very bullish for the traditional and the crypto markets, or we could see another bounce where we get another higher high forming as well for that DXY. So right now, I'm looking at this bull flag, seeing whether we're going to break towards the upside on the daily. If we do, then we've got to break that resistance on the smaller time frames. And if we do that, then most likely we will form another higher high on that DXY, which would be very, very bad for the crypto market. Traditional market, if we take a look at that quickly, we can see the Nasdaq is holding support. We can see the S&P 500 is holding support as well. But if that DXY does make another higher high, I expect the traditional market to break its support and to see another leg towards the downside for the traditional market as well, which will feed into the crypto market because, as we know, they are very correlated. Bitcoin is very correlated to that traditional market. So right now, I do think we're going to get that fake out. I do think we could see that leg towards the downside. And yes, I would shift more bullish if we could get that volume coming in. But right now, the volume just isn't there. So for me, it's more bearish than bullish. That is the reality of it. And that is the facts of it. If we do, ever get a breakout towards the upside with low volume, the likelihood of it is going to be a fake out. And if we do, I can show you this quickly here. So we've seen the exact same scenario back in 2018. Coming back here, let me just get rid of these drawings for you here. But we saw the exact same scenario in 2018 with the Bollinger Bands as well. So if I make this a bit larger so you can see, as we can see, we had that descending triangle right here. Exactly the same descending triangle that we had. Then what happens? We saw a large period of consolidation like we are seeing right now. You can see right here that large consolidation with slight deviations where we get those big either spikes towards the upside or towards the downside, but initially still consolidating. And then what we did is we got the break towards the upside of the descending triangle. So taking a closer look, you can see we got that break towards the upside. However, there was no volume in. So coming down, lining that up with the volume, no volume, absolutely no volume coming in whatsoever. What happened there? Well, we came back down. We retested it as support, which is what we have already done. And we saw a slight bounce off it. That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a bounce off that previous resistance, using it as support. However, what happens? There was still no volume coming in. Still absolutely no volume. There was smaller volume on the retest than there was on the breakout. So for me, this is just very clear. This is a very, very clear fake out. The Bollinger Bands were squeezing as we are right now. And what did we see? We saw the price roll over and create new lows. And it was actually the bottom of the bear market. So if we do break towards the downside of this descending triangle that we're in now, I don't think it's all that bad. I think it's going to be that capitulation phase that we have been waiting for, that last capitulation phase, the bottom of the bear market, and then we can start the bottom of the bear market accumulation phase, okay, where we have that major consolidation, and then we can start seeing the price tick towards the upside and get those big moves towards the upside. For me right now, we're looking very, very similar to this scenario back in 2018. And I do think it needs to happen. I think that last leg down needs to happen. Flush out the last remaining weak hands, and then as diamond holders, we are going to be buying this last dip if it does happen, and then we can hold that out until the next bull market starts. But right now, it's looking very similar to the 2018 bear market. As the last capitulation phase within that 2018 bear market. And for me, I think the market just needs that last leg down. So as I just said, the breakout towards the upside on low volume, retest, low volume, Bollinger Bands together. What happened is we got that big move, and the big move was towards the downside. So, coming back to where we are now, I still think that this is the most likely scenario that is going to play out, unless we can get volume coming in, some bullish volume coming in. I think that is going to be the most likely scenario. So just to show you again, we've had the breakout towards the upside right there, low volume, as you can see we've had the retest and we've had the bounce. Again, even lower volume. Bollinger Bands compressing together. A big move is coming. And the likelihood of it is that it's going to be towards the downside unless we can get some bullish volume coming in. So that's why I'm still looking for those short positions. That's why if we do come back up to the value area high, I'll probably enter a very small short position. As you can see, it would have played off here because it didn't come into my shorting area. This is my shorting area, this golden pocket, because there's a cluster of resistance there. We've got the horizontal resistance there as well. If we come up to that level, I will be entering a short, but I'll probably enter at the value area high. I'll probably enter probably maybe 25% of what I want to put into the trade, and then the rest of it I will stagnate within this golden pocket here and have that as my main shorting opportunity. But I'm still expecting the price to come lower, but maybe in the shorter term we could have a little push towards the upside, back up to the value area high, back up to this cluster of resistance here where I would short. And yeah, hopefully that short will play out like the past 3 shorts that I've taken have played out. And yeah, for me, again, the market's looking more bearish than bullish right now. So I think we're going to have this last leg down, and it's not all bad. The last leg down is not all bad. We can get all those weak hands out. We are us diamond hand holders. We can accumulate even lower prices and just wait for that bull market to start again. Looking globally, I just don't think any of the markets are ready to start pushing towards the upside. I do just think that we need to have that last capitulation phase before we start seeing any big moves towards the upside. As I said, it's not all bad. We can just accumulate and yeah, flush out all those weak hands and buy up all the Bitcoin that they sold. So yeah, just to say hello to everyone. Cryptinvest, good to see you back here. Major earnings this week could play in the Bitcoin's price. Yes, I was going to bring that up as well. So we do have, I think it's around, is it 12 billion, 12 trillion dollars worth of companies that have their earnings report this week. Of course, that's going to be a major market mover. So, of course, if they do come out higher than expected, yes, maybe we will have, well, yes, we'll probably have a push towards the upside within the markets. If they come in lower than expected, then we are most likely going to see a push towards the downside. Ben will most likely cover that as well. So yeah, stay tuned for his lives. He will cover that in more detail. I normally just go over the charts, looking technically what is going on. Ben goes into more of the fundamentals, so stay tuned for Ben's lives as well. Yeah, he will go into more detail with that as well. But of course, it is a big week as well. And next week is going to be a big week as well, because we do have that FOMC meeting where Jerome Powell is going to tell us whether we have got a 75 or a 50 basis point rate hike. The likelihood of it is going to be 75. You know, if I just refresh this right now, it was 95%, but now it's 92.2% of analysts think that we are going to get 75 basis point rate hike. So almost 100%. It looks like that we're going to get a 75 basis point rate hike. That will be bearish for the market. We would most likely see a pullback as soon as that figure comes out. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And yeah, if you enjoyed this technical analysis video, please make sure you smash a like on this video. It does really help me out. It does really help the channel out, and I can continue to bring this analysis for you as well, this TA. So make sure you smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, Ben might be going live later on today, so stay tuned for that. And of course, I will see you tomorrow for the next live stream. So make sure you smash the like button, sorry. And yeah, I will see you in the next live.